All right, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, evening. I don't know where you are, so welcome. The stream is officially started. I'm Daniele. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Toolhouse, and today we have amazing news, very exciting news for everybody's been kind of sick and tired of building in the agentic world. Uh, one of the old saying now, it's been years now that we say this garbage in, garbage out. What does it mean? It means that your agent and your model is just as good as the data it has. And while Gen AI can do a lot for a ton of use cases, obviously the more sophisticated uses are when you can actually have an agent know uh, things that usually doesn't know. So what do I mean exactly with this? Well, this means that uh, you know agents are trained on a lot of knowledge. Most of this knowledge is knowledge that's publicly available on the internet, things that everybody knows, like Wikipedia pages, uh, newspaper articles, and the likes. Those are the types of content that, sure, may work to generate stories, marketing content, and so on and so forth. But it doesn't really work with our data, with what we know. And because what we know, only we know, we store in our private databases, in our private Notion instances, on Google Drive, um, on Microsoft Office 365, on Word documents, our code on our GitHub. Obviously, AI cannot know everything about that. It doesn't know anything actually. And so for the longest time, uh, many companies have tried to augment the knowledge of an agent by adding more data. But there's a problem with that. And the problem is that the agent can only withhold this much information inside their context. And so most of the times, not all the times, your amount of data is much larger. And that's why there were technologies that were invented to store data and make sure that only specific excerpts of data could be then returned to agents. This is obviously known as RAG. So RAG is a pretty neat technology, except it's so damn complicated, and it's unnecessarily complicated. To build retrieval augmented generation, or RAG for short, we're going to refer it as retrieval augmented generation today as RAG all the time. To implement RAG, you'll have to first have data, and data comes with a lot of caveats. It needs to be in text format, it needs to be uh, it's usually large, and it's to be then parsed and made available to a specific specialized database, which is a vector database. So the vector database usually needs to be in a specific format and needs to have an algorithm that translates text into numbers and back. This is usually another artificial intelligence model. It's an embedding model. Embedding, think of it as like transforming sequences of text into sequences of numbers. It's a very broad generalization, but in order to do that and to do it that consistently and reliably, you need to have an entire data pipeline. And so the implementation to just get maybe something like your GitHub code base into an agent becomes so complex, even if you don't have that much data. What if you actually have like some data, maybe not a huge amount of data, but a reasonable amount of data that you want your agent to know about? Well, it's impossible. There's no way of doing that. So what we're doing today, and with our announcement, we announced the way to revolutionize retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, by introducing Toolhouse RAG. What is Toolhouse RAG? Toolhouse RAG is the simplest and the most seamless RAG pipeline and database all in one. And you use it with just a simple command, which is thrag. Thrag allows you to create multiple RAG stores, we call them folders, using concepts that you're familiar with. And inside these folders, you can add one or more files. You can add as many files as you want, so long as they're like in text format or PDFs. So you can upload as many PDFs as you want. and behind the scenes we do all the rest. So you just upload the files, and then we plug it into one or more agents. And so today I want to show you how this works, because it's very excited. And I also want to announce like a smaller announcement. We actually rebuilt our docs using Toolhouse RAG, and our docs are effectively now an agent you can chat to and chat with, and it's powered by Toolhouse technologies. That's all we have to do. Just an agent, and I actually vibe coded the front end, so it might not be the best like smoothest experience, but it works pretty well both on mobile and desktop. We tried it out. We're not experts in front end. We are a back end as a service, and so the back end works pretty dang good. And as you will see, I'll show you how to the before and the after. And this is the project we're going to use to show you how Toolhouse RAG works, and to show you what data means to many agents. All right. So without further ado, first and foremost, if you want to use it yourself today, you can just obviously sign up for Toolhouse. The QR code you see here, whoa, here, there you go, is the sign up link. Toolhouse RAG for a limited time is going to be available to all Toolhouse users, including the ones on the free plan. So grab it while it's free, check it out. And we always love feedback and room for improvement. Whatever you think we can improve, just let us know. Join.toolhouse.ai is also the link. So QR code and the link are exactly the same thing. If you want to understand how RAG works, you could use our old docs at docs.toolhouse.ai, or you can just go on the new docs, help.toolhouse.ai. Actually, let me bring those up. Let me show the docs. I'll just set myself up real quick with a new browser window, and we'll be good to go in my truly unstructured way of using Toolhouse and live streaming. All right, here we are. I hope you can see everything all right. So this is help.toolhouse.ai. Let me blow this up a little bit for you all. I hope this is clear enough for everybody. So what did I do here? I actually went on Bolt and created this interface. But behind the scenes, as you might expect, there's a Toolhouse agent. And the Toolhouse agent is connected to our RAG. And so when you type something like how do I set up RAG in Toolhouse, how do I deploy my agent, how do I install the CLI, the agent will make a request to RAG, and it can make other requests to other tools. So in real time now, we are retrieving data from RAG, summarizing data, and here's the command. So pretty neat, right? So I'm going to show you some example conversations, because I was extremely impressed by this, because I had this very interesting conversation here somewhere where I had certain ideas on how to split PDFs into RAG. So I actually went and asked, like, how do I set up RAG in Toolhouse? And let me show it to you. Actually, I'll start from scratch. So I started with this: how do I set up RAG in Toolhouse? And then I asked some follow-up questions, and the follow-up questions gave me the right answer. So while this loads, I'm going to show you also how did I set up the data. There you go. Actually, I didn't have to wait that much. So the agent used the Toolhouse RAG to perform a lookup into our data and return some data. So if we go, this is basically just a pure agent run that you can inspect from Toolhouse itself. So I go back to Toolhouse, and we're going to go to the agent runs here, where you can see basically what happened behind the scenes. So this is my latest query. So we're going to read this. I'm also going to make this bigger for your convenience. There you go. So we had a prompt. I'll show you the prompt in the th file later, and happy to share this with you as well. And as you can see, we're using the TH-RAG, which is now available in our MCP server. So there's no integration required. You don't have to do anything. You just have to load the files and specify what RAG folder you want to use for your agent. And so what happens here, we're just like add the RAG folder reference and then the query, and the agent comes up with the query based on what you send back to the agent, and then the RAG will give you some results here. As you can see, the output is unstructured text, but because the assistant is an assistant, is an agent, so it's intelligent, then you'll understand, he'll understand how to create a response formatted nicely based on the instructions in the prompt. And from there, we can also get to ask some more follow-up questions that may or may not trigger RAG based on the knowledge already present in context. So, for example, here we had information about how to create to add basic PDFs, and it says Toolhouse supports most text-based files and PDFs up to 10 megabyte each. That's right. So our suggested file size is 10 megabyte. We support slightly higher, slightly bigger files, but you will see basically based on the response. So here you can say, okay, I have a bigger PDF. Can you teach me how to split it in chunks before I can add it to Toolhouse? So actually, let's try this. Actually, I have a bigger PDF. It's about 50 megabytes. Can you show me Python code that uses maybe a library you trust that splits the PDF? And then please show me how to upload each chunk into Toolhouse. So this is the question. Probably it's going back into RAG, probably not. There you go. So here you have a working example in Python of how to chunk files so you can split them, and then you can do this. You can also say, can you actually show me the th commands for bash? So it went above and beyond, created Python command to just do everything in one chunk, which I like. There you go. Very, very simple. Gives you like a nice three-liner 4 block to get each chunk without you repeating the commands. Another thing you can do is to just do thrag add star.pdf to get all the files into the folder. So very easy to do that. So very, very nice, very easy help that you can now have at your disposal. Super simple. So how do we build this? We built this with a simple agent. So I'm going to show you the before and the after. I created both version. I have them here. So this is the finished version with the RAG configuration here. And here, the starting point. So let me show you the prompt first and foremost. So the prompt was a very simple prompt. Let's word wrap this, and we're just like tasking the agent to be our developer relations engineer at Toolhouse, and it will answer questions using the Toolhouse platform and its features. Then we give a quick explanation of what Toolhouse is, just for context. And we do this so that for the very basic context, like what is Toolhouse, we don't have to go directly into RAG all the time. So then we proceed and say that I'm interested into learning about this topic. And topic is the variable we're going to use, and it contains the query we just sent to the agent. So in my example, this is the topic. And if we go back here to the agent run log, you see that we are filling the variable with exactly what we pressed. So here we, if you remember, we just use how do I set up RAG in Toolhouse, which is this one button here. And so when we click here, we pre-fill this topic with the topic we want to learn. If you ask a question, then the question will be the content of this variable surrounded by topic tags. Okay, and then we proceed with the prompt. We give step-by-step instructions, and we tell the agent, always use the RAG tool. You have to use it. And every time you don't know the answer to a query, do not improvise, do not hallucinate. Just look in RAG. You'll have your answer. Okay, and know that the RAG is to be trusted. Then the second step is to read the results from the RAG to generate an answer to my question. And then if the RAG errors out because it doesn't have a result, just invite the people to consult the classic documentation, which didn't happen in this case. And then we give some like stage setting kind of rules. Assume I'm a Toolhouse user, assume I'm an engineer, assume I know how to integrate with other platforms. So be friendly, be engaging, but be professional. Okay, so this is the basic house rules for the agent, and then that's it. So when we run this prompt without a RAG, it's going to error out and tell us to visit the docs more likely. So I'm going to run this in terminal to show you exactly what is the result. Let me blow this up a little bit again. Th run, and we set Toolhouse demo docs, and then docs agent.yaml. So we're not referencing the RAG folder. So we're using a RAG folder with no parameters. And as you can see, the agent attempts to call RAG, but there's no knowledge. And so because it's been prompted in a certain way, the agent stops and tells you, hey, I can't access the RAG. Go to the old docs at docs.toolhouse.ai. Okay, so obviously we do have the docs, and so we're going to set up a RAG folder here. And we do that by first taking a look at the data. And the data I have here for the demo docs is just like a collection of all the markdown files. Our documentation is in markdown. So we did a big export of all the documentation to markdown. That's our own starting point. We didn't have to change anything about the docs. It was just what we had. So much so that you can see that our documentation provider adds this kind of tokens. Those you can keep them. The Toolhouse RAG is going to be smart enough to figure out that those are not the things that are actually part of the Toolhouse. So we start from there. The other part we need to do is obviously to use thrag. So I'll show you the command in terminal. With no instructions, obviously you have help, so you'll know how to use it. When you can obviously list the RAG folders you have created, you can create a new one, add files to a RAG folder, remove a RAG folder completely, or just specific files from a RAG folders, and then obviously the help. So we are going to create a folder. I'm going just to call it demo, thrag create demo. It's that simple. So we're creating this RAG folder, and then we're going to upload our markdown files into this folder we just created. As always, the CLI tells you what to do next, and so it's suggesting us two actions. The first is to add the file, and then the second one is to add this statement, RAG demo, to our agent file, which we're going to do immediately. So I'll proceed here and go RAG demo, and we are good to go on the th file. We can just forget about this from now on. Now let's add the file, and the file I have is all markdown files. So I'm going to do thrag add demo, and then on Toolhouse demo docs, all markdown files. So we're going to upload these files. Done. Quick and simple. So next suggested action, ls, to check if we actually uploaded stuff. And okay, this is the demo folder created, and I'm going to do a rag ls demo to see what files are now inside this folder. And here's our markdown that we just uploaded. Okay, so all we had to do now is to just do a th run, so an example run with this prompt we already had, to see if it works, to see if we now have the access to the knowledge. And I'm expecting obviously that the agent won't tell us to go back to the old docs. So let's see if that is the case. Run Toolhouse demo docs, and then docs agent. So because we have a variable already preset, it's going to explain us how to create an agent. It's called a RAG as expected. And now it's extracting content from the markdown files we just uploaded, and it's going to tell us how to do that. See, so this is basically RAG. That's it. And that's how you do RAG in Toolhouse. Very, very simple. Then obviously you deploy and you have that nice agent that you can call or integrate in whatever agent or a vibe coding tool or a cursor you want. So I wish I could show you more, but this is all there is. I'll show you the docs a little bit more, so we can have a table with the supported formats and take it from there. So docs.toolhouse.ai. So at docs.toolhouse.ai, you're going to have a page called using RAG that show you step by step what to do. And obviously there's also help.toolhouse.ai. You can ask any question. We've been through these steps already. And so we are now accepting the most common file formats. If you need us to support another file format, just let us know. And we'll be more than happy to evaluate and accommodate the request if it makes sense. Obviously, PDFs and all the file formats in text, including like code, Python, JavaScript, C++, the usual YAML files themselves. That's basically it. There's a supported file size limit of 10 megabytes for each file that you upload. So it's not that every RAG folder is 10 megabytes. Every file you upload is 10 megabytes, and then within that, you can upload as many files you want. That's why it's important to start like maybe chunking those files in a way that makes sense for you. It could be 5 megabytes. Like we don't care much. Behind the scenes, we just parallelize those queries, and you'll have a good experience regardless. So 10 megabytes is a nice amount of content for regardless. But obviously, if you need more, get more. I'm sure when it comes to PDFs, you're going to have a little bit more like weight for your files is going to be a little bit more heavier, and so you might want to upload them either in separate files or in chunks, or just try to upload if you have a nice PDF that's less than 10 megabyte. Okay, so this is basically the Toolhouse RAG, and we made the developer experience so simple that it just had to make sense this way. So let's go back and I'll show you exactly like what we did here. So in our CLI, you can have many commands, obviously, and one is thrag. With RAG, you have the ability to list. So thrag, you have the ability to list, create, add files, remove files. So I'm going to just like recreate. I want to show you also the thrm command. So thrm, thrag rm allows you to remove a file or a folder. So you can do one or both. So if you have tens or hundreds of files into a folder, you want to remove one or two, you can just do folder name and then file name. If you want to remove the entire folder and start all over again, then you just remove. And obviously, when I do this, it asks me for a confirmation. So it's not we blindly delete your data from the CLI. You can confirm, but default is no. So if we do thrag ls, we'll see demo here. And obviously, now if we want to do a thrag run demo and we say yes, we're going to delete thrag ls. We shouldn't see demo anymore. There you go. And if we want to restart all over again, no problem. thrag create demo. There we go. And again, the only two things we need to do is to obviously add files to the RAG. So thrag add demo and then the files. So Toolhouse demo docs, all markdown files. Okay, let's actually make sure that we added it for good measure. Yep, available files here. So it's uploaded. And then the second thing that it was suggested to me by the CLI is to add this to my agent. And when I go on VS Code and add this, oh, we already added it. So save, we have RAG implemented. It's that simple. Very, very simple. We made it extremely straightforward for everybody to build RAG. So there's no need to do ETL, data pipeline, vector embeddings. Like the embedding part is the one that is the most cumbersome. Like you need to decide. There are so many embedding algorithms out there, and sparse versus dense is one of the debates in RAG world today. The reality is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have the right architecture behind the scenes that can do sort of that decision for you. And so that's what we do. Basically, get the data, sample it, and then apply the right algorithm. And then based on that, you'll receive the right results. So another question that we received during beta testing is, can I still plug in my own RAG? Obviously. So Toolhouse is universal. You can bring in a lot of things. You can bring in models and RAGs and tools as well. We exist to free yourself from the lock-in and complexity of other vendors. So your data is your data. And if you want to bring your own a RAG provider, suit yourself, no problem. By default, we actually, as a matter of fact, support Pinecone and MongoDB Atlas in our MCP server. And then you can bring your own adapter and add others like Weaviate, Quadrant, and the likes. We have agents that are building basically LinkedIn connections for people, and they use Pinecone instead of our own, and they work pretty well. So if you need a certain specific use case that really requires you to bring your own RAG, of course you can actually bring both the Toolhouse RAG and your own RAG together. So there's no kind of conflict of sorts. You can use whatever data you want from whatever provider you want, and that is the freedom that Toolhouse gives you. So no issues there, no worries on that side. Make sense? So we just created a RAG store, and now back to my Infinity screen, just to do a little recap of what we did. So we created a new agent that serves the Toolhouse docs in a conversational form. So now you can ask your Toolhouse agent to give you some examples, or to just ask a custom question. And what the agent will do will look, using Toolhouse RAG, will look at our documentation and retrieve the right like sources and craft an answer for you. And you can ask follow-up questions, in which case the agent can go back to RAG and get follow-up data, or just respond with data that it has in context. If you want to try it out, it's here, help.toolhouse.ai. And how about I show you one trick? If you want to clone this agent, you can. Like you can start off from like our prompts. You know, we are all in for having you learn and get try to be helpful if we can. So help.toolhouse.ai. Let me show you one trick. When you go on help.toolhouse.ai yourself, you're going to see this one thing happening. And this one thing happening is going to be in the network requests. Because it's an agent, we can ask any question, and there's going to be our agent ID here. So let me show you what I mean exactly. Let's say I want to set up Toolhouse. So we're making a request to our agent. This is the ID of our agent. It's responding with a 200, so it starts streaming the answer here. And when we look at the agent here, just do this. Copy this URL, then go to your Toolhouse, app.toolhouse.ai/agents, and then you'll have access to the agent, and you can clone it and you can make it yours. So that's how easy it is to create agents. Then obviously, if we made it public, so this is the trick here. We made the agent public so you can see it. If we made it private, you wouldn't get access to it. But because our agent is public, it's available to everybody, and we made it so that you can see the prompt, you can see the variables, you can see basically how we go about building agents in Toolhouse. Like the worst thing, if you will, like the most cumbersome thing at this point, it's not the integration, it's not the code, it's not the boilerplate or the choice of the framework. It's actually the prompt at the point. And to tweak the prompt, obviously, it will create it will require a little bit of artisanal work. You need to think step by step, but you could also test this out with another LLM. You can actually submit your idea of prompt to we love Grok, so you can go to Llama for Scout or Maverick. Scout works perfectly for this kind of job, and you can tell a prompt like rework this prompt so it could be clear and for use with an LLM. Just those few words will task Llama to get you a better version of your prompt that you can then paste back into your Agent Studio or your TH file, run it, and see what the result is. So I'm not claiming ours is the best possible prompt. It's an okay prompt. It's concise enough, gives good information here, and kind of works pretty well for our use case, I want to say. So it's okay. So what we could do is obviously to expand it, to add bundles, and one thing we could do, for example, here would be to limit the agent to just one tool, which is RAG. And to do that, you can just like select the right bundle. Or you can do it. My favorite way is to do it through the th file. So you can add this bundle. As a matter of fact, we just did this. So I created a bundle called toolhouse_docs. Let me show you how that works. So we just limited the bundles to one MCP server, which is our own RAG. Why did we do that? Well, it's a public documentation website, so we don't want to kind of add ways for the agent to wander around the internet, and we don't need anything else really here. We don't need any of those other servers we provide right off the bat, but we could offer the ability, for example, to send an email if we wanted. So, and this would be one interesting use case. For example, you want the agent to send an email with a recap of the conversation, so you won't lose it. That could be a nice use case. That's basically all there is to adding and expanding the capabilities of an agent. But for this, we just went on Bolt, created a template, and the template was a single like chatbot interface, and then I just made some adjustments. One good thing that you might want to know, a little behind the scenes, if you will, change that we did is that when you create a new agent now, you will get a new option when you deploy the agent. So let's say you have this very low prompt that makes some searches on the internet for accommodations in Palo Alto. I will get some results here. There you go. And then you can deploy as an API as always. You can schedule it. You can share this with your team or friends. And then you have two more options, Lovable and Bolts. This creates a prompt for those vibe coding tools that are already pre-filled with the agent URL and what to do. So when you copy it and you put it into Bolt, it creates an agent for you. And it creates an agent with all the interface. So in this case, we have two variables, location and period. And it's already, as you can see, pre-filled with the two variables here. And so let's take a look. If I went on bolt.new, actually, let me do this from my logged in Bolt account. There you go. I paste this, and now Bolt is going to be added. It's going to just create all the code. In a minute or so, we should have our own front end that we can test out with this nice prompt. So it's starting, and we'll see in a moment or two what happens. We'll get back to this in a moment while this is in the oven. You know those cooking shows where they give you time to like wait, or they show you the pre-built thing. While this baked, I'll show you what this looks like, the pre-made version. There you go. So this is one of the prompts here for a different for a different front end, and we're going to see the preview in just a moment. It's a problem. Okay, let me show you another one that probably works. We built so many docs chatbots. I can actually show you how we did the docs here. All right, those are going to work. There you go. So you see how the AI assistant was built. This even had support for light mode and dark mode. We didn't prompt it there, but both decided to go above and beyond. And so we started with the same prompt, really. So this is the agent here. So I'm going to just like look it up and see what agent this was. I'm assuming this is a public agent. This is the project for our docs. Yeah, this is just a chatbot that responds in Spanish. So let's give that a go. So this we said we didn't work. So hi, how are you? This should respond in Spanish. There you go. And so it's already configured to continue the conversation, and you can go on and on as you want. But you have a single place now to build the backend and the front end with just a single prompt. So you don't have to struggle figuring out what to tell Bolt or Lovable. Just copy the prompt here. So I'll show you the steps again. Go to Agent Studio, then select your agent. So we clicked here. The agent loads, and then head over to the Lovable or Bolt tab, copy, paste into Bolt, and you're good to go. So very simple place, like all in one go, to build a nice front end for your backend. So this is basically what we did with Toolhouse to build sophisticated agents that you don't have to worry about. Like there's no boilerplate or no worrying about, oh, where do I host this, or it works on my machine. Will it work the same in production? And the answer is yes, it will. And all you have to do is just like run 3 simple commands, and you're good to go. So this is Toolhouse, and we added retrieval augmented generation, or RAG for short, with the most straightforward, the best developer experience in AI out there. I guarantee you, like, try and find a different, better developer experience for RAG without all the hassle of figuring out embeddings, figuring out vector stores, and universal. So this is our game. Our game is to be as universal as possible, allowing you to choose to bring your data, your models, and to deploy as an API. When you know how to call an API, now you know how to call an agent. And if you don't, well, don't worry. Just copy the prompt, put it into Lovable or Bolt, and the app write codes for you, already plugged into Toolhouse. So very, very simple, very, very nice. So this is what we did. So Again, for those who just joined, I see a bunch of new heads popping up here. Hi, welcome, or welcome back, or thanks for listening into this live stream. We just announced the best and simplest retrieval augmented generation out there. It's called Toolhouse RAG, and it's available today for all Toolhouse users for a limited time. And then this is going to be available to Toolhouse Pro users on a paid plan. The paid plan, it's a plan that doesn't break the bank. It's going to be very, very, very affordable. Why? Because we believe that if you see what's happening with the world today, there's a lot of layoffs. There's a lot of people without a job, and some of these people are not like laborer or people with no skills. There are people like you and me, our engineers, that are going to be or are already laid off by larger companies. You know, I used to work at big tech back in the days during the golden age, where like we couldn't hire fast enough, we couldn't find enough engineers, and now how the tables have turned. Engineers are out of a job, but they do have time, and this massively uh, game-changing technology, insanely revolutionary technology at their disposal. Except it's too damn complicated and too expensive to make sense for a business to get started. And if you have some money on the side, very little money, and you want to get started, you can't break the bank. So we are giving people a way to build things. We're democratizing agent development for everybody. I believe that in the future, in the very near future, everybody will be building things on the side. Just like 5 years ago, we started to all become creators with our own TikTok or on Instagram. Today, the same is going to be true for engineers, and we're going to build things on the side that can make our life much easier, and they will cost a fraction of what they would cost usually, because of AI and because of Toolhouse makes it so affordable. And so this is our game. If today we have 40 million developers in the world, I think in 3 years we're going to have like 100 million developers. Like, this market is going to massively increase thanks to vibe coding and thanks to AI in general. Like, an engineer can be much more quicker in building and shipping things thanks to AI. But the vibe coder wasn't a developer yesterday is going to be a developer today thanks to all these tools. And so we are more than happy to cater to and provide for both sides of this AI equation, if you will. So how did we do this? Why is it so simple and affordable? Because that's our job. Our job is to look out at the current landscape, the current technology landscape, and see what's broken and fix it. And what's broken is the developer experience. Today, it looks like 35 years ago with the dot-com bubble, where you manually needed to actually assemble your web servers, and then inside you need to put a program that will run and and kind of fulfill each one of the requests. There was no concept like streamlined web server until everything somebody came in and said, okay, we're making this experience very easy to build. And so what we saw back then, we're repeating today, except much faster and before everybody else. And so let me show you again what Toolhouse RAG looks like. And I'm going to restart my demo just to show you exactly how easy it is. So let's get back to where we were. Let me share my screen first and foremost. All right, Infinity Mirror. Now you should be able to see my desktop. And it all starts from the command line interface. TH gives you a bunch of options. The one we're looking for is thrag. Thrag gives you those commands to list, create, add, and remove files, obviously. So the concept of RAG is similar to the concept of files in your laptop. There's files and there's folders. So you put usually a file into a folder, and that's what we're going to do here. Exactly the same. We're going to first create a folder, and then we're going to add files into this folder. That's all we need. Why don't we start with the prompt first? So in the prompt, I already put together some instructions here where I'm going to basically build my chat to the docs version of Toolhouse. So you can now chat to the documentation, to the Toolhouse documentation. Chat, it's a help.toolhouse.ai. This is the prompt which you can have. I'll show you how to get the prompt in just a moment. Uh, just sets the tone, stage, what the task is for the agent, and then some step-by-step instructions. So you must use the RAG tool. You must read the results. If you can find results, then just apologize and terminate the conversation, saying, go, I don't have the right context. Go and look at the old docs. That's it. Very simple. Probably not the best prompt, but it does the trick. Let's take a look at the RAG folder. So if I do thrag ls, obviously already created some folders. There are those. Let's create a new folder. We're going to call it docs. thrag create docs. We are now creating this RAG folder, and that's it. So the CLI very nicely tells me what to do next. So we should add obviously a file to a folder, otherwise we'll have an empty RAG folder that won't work for us. And then add the RAG doc statement to our th file so we can use it. Because obviously if we run the agent as it is today without clarification, without a RAG folder to reference, it's not going to work. And let's see what happens actually. So I'm expecting this agent to fail. Thrag run, and then Toolhouse demo docs docs agent.yaml. You see the precompiled prompt. We have a placeholder variable here that's going to run this test case. So it runs the RAG, but then it says, I'm sorry, I don't have content in the RAG. Like, you didn't specify actually where to look at. You told me, okay, I should look at the RAG. I did that, but you didn't give me any precise information. So please go to the docs.toolhouse.ai. So obviously we need to fix this behavior by adding a file into the RAG folder we just created, and then adding the statement into the agent file, and this will fix the behavior. So we're going to do that. I'm going to scroll up, and I'm just going to do the copy paste basically. So th rag add docs, and then the file we want to add. Our documentation is contained to this markdown file. So this is basically our download of all the documentation files in the markdown format. How did I do it? Our documentation provider, our platform just allows you to just download everything. So I just like downloaded everything, boom, meshed into one single file, and that's it. If I wanted, I could just like have one single markdown file per page and just add individually each one of those files. But it's quicker this way, and so I prefer to do that. And so I'm going to add this file to this docs folder. So this is going to be Toolhouse demo docs, all markdown files. We're adding this. There you go. Add it. And then if you remember, the CLI suggested to also do this, which is the next thing we need to do. So add RAG colon docs to your agent file to use this RAG folder. Perfect. Let's do that. Copy paste. All right. So now that we did that, we should be all good to go. And you see, we're going to run the exact same prompt. Hopefully we won't get the same answer. We should get a detailed answer on how to create a Toolhouse agent. So I'm going to do this, thrun Toolhouse demo docs, all the markdown files. Let's see what happens. I think I missed something here. A stream of document. Okay. Oh, my bad. I specified the wrong files. This was the right one. Yep. There you go. So same prompt, calling RAG, and now it looks like it's about to hit RAG because it's getting a bunch of data back. and there you go. It didn't tell us to go to the old docs. It's actually spitting out a nice response, and an accurate one, because it's based on the ground truth we give the agent through RAG. So that's how it is. And so we built this into our this is the agent that basically powers our help, our new Toolhouse help the Toolhouse AI. This is exactly what it does. So you can create a conversation here and ask some follow-up questions as well. So give it a go, help.toolhouse.ai, and you can get started that way. So this is how it greets you. It's built with Toolhouse, and if you want to see the agent at work, and if you want this prompt itself, as I showed before, what you can do is one interesting thing, just like press one of these buttons or ask a question, and then look what happens. So I'll click this one. See this ID? This is the ID of our agent. We made it public so you can peek into it, so you can see how things are built. So copy this, then open it somewhere. For example, I'm going to open it here, and then replace agents with app, and then go agents. And you're going to be able to clone this agent into your Toolhouse account. And we want you to do that. So here's how it will look like to you. Then you click run this agent, and bam, you'll have your agent, your personal clone of the agent. Or the one thing you can do is to simply just copy paste this into your TH file. And again, you're good to go. So we made it public exactly for this reason, because we wanted you to see the prompt. We wanted you to see how things work. And if you are stuck, or if you need help, just come see us in our Discord, or ask us a question. We're here to help you succeed. So don't be shy. That's my spiel. That's what I'm trying to say here. So we've done RAG in about 5 minutes. So if you need to add files to your agent and to ground it with like actual knowledge, just don't look anywhere else. Obviously, if you want, you can still bring your own RAG, and you can make it work alongside the Toolhouse RAG. So if you're unsure whether RAG you want, use one or the other or both. We have RAG. We obviously want you to use it, but then if you have more specific needs, we're not going to constrain you, and that's our game. We want to make sure that you have the right tools to succeed. And when you're ready to grow, then you can grow. If you need something more sophisticated or personal or personalized, then you can do that as well. No problem. Our goal is to make sure that you can build agents with an unprecedented ease, something that feels magic. We actually have this internal metric. Does it feel magic? That's how we measure things. We measure things by, is it easy for people to actually go and build their first agents, or is it easy for people to productionize their agents? Is it easy for engineering teams to put these things into production and have a reliable infrastructure to run their things in production? If the answer is yes, then we've done our job. And we really, really hope that with this new launch of Toolhouse RAG, we make things easy for everybody. So grab it while it's hot. Join Toolhouse. So the QR code here is the one that you can use to sign up. Sign up today. It's free. It's free for everybody for a limited time. Go grab it. Go use it. We want to hear your feedback. We want to see how you use it. Come see us in our Discord if you have questions. Discord.toolhouse.ai. And it's also, if you go on our Toolhouse.ai page, there's a link to Discord. Again, join Toolhouse. Stream is not ended yet. Let me get this one, docs.toolhouse.ai. The agent I showed you is at help.toolhouse.ai. That's some new documentation. And that's all the time I had for today. So can see us in Discord. I hope you enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see what you build with Toolhouse RAG and all the magnificent other release that you're going to see soon. So stay tuned for more announcements, and can't wait to see you next time. See ya. Bye.